You're texting like an old person this week. I texted you like 3 times and you never got back to me.
Today?
No, yesterday, the day before.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
see that.
You're on drugs. Like,
No, I see that
you got
now.
painkillers for that knee or what? So it's not totally off brand for you to be.
I know I'm not a good texter. I'm like really.
You're not.
I'm not.
You're really bad.
I'm like, I'm not a good texter. I want to be on the phone. I like communicating, but texting is like, it's like the worst.
That's so funny. It's
Awful.
so funny that you're that way.
I know.
But
I don't know why I am,
but somehow it fits.
But I took screenshots and sent them to you. I mean, that was dedication.
Yeah, wow.
Of the content on my LinkedIn.
I'm surprised you even knew how to do that.
Well, it was hard because I took it on my work computer. So then I was like, I have to, because I don't have my own iChat on my work computer. So I was like, I have to airdrop these screenshots to my phone, and then I
heard a funny joke where when your body sneezes and farts at the same time, it's like your body taking a screenshot.
I don't follow the metaphor, you know,
because you have to push the 2 buttons on the.
Oh,
come on! Welcome to Friends on Purpose,
where 2 friends talk about life, love,
and finding purpose.
Today, my partner, we did this kind of like crazy thing. You know, she's off before a new job and she loves Rangers, specifically 2011 Rangers, and she needs a new truck. And so we like found one in a rust-free zone part of the country, and I had points. And so like last night she drove down to Portland and flew out this morning, and we were like, yeah, we like did this whole thing. But then she was like, just as I got excited, I thought I should check on this one last detail. And it was 2-wheel drive, not 4-wheel drive. And we thought we had checked that. So she just turned around in Chicago. She like called them and was like, I got to cancel this flight. And I like out of nowhere bought flight insurance for $7 on this last minute flight that we thought was super perfect. I know. We thought it was going to be just like she was going to go one way and drive the truck back because we like vetted everything else. But yeah, so in the middle of the day, I was triaging. I was being a flight attendant.
So she just flew to Chicago and back?
Yeah, like where I was like, cool, I hope you had a nice Starbucks in Chicago at the airport. She was home. She got home. She left Portland at 6 a.m. and she was back.
Got home before you did?
Yeah, she was back home. The only reason she did not beat me home was because she picked up a pizza on the way and like had to wait for it. And I was like, wow.
She could have brought Chicago pizza back to you.
Nobody likes Chicago pizza, Eric.
Yeah, right?
Like
That's true, nobody isn't it?
That. It's disgusting. Okay. It makes you feel sick. The like more we've been marinating in this topic, the more excited I am.
Really?
Okay,
good.
I have a lot of things to say.
I feel a little lacking lately.
Okay. I think what I'm about to say to you is going to spark. I think we're gonna get a and then you're gonna like start seeing ritual everywhere.
Okay. Well, we should set it up.
Okay. You're the boss.
Today we're going to talk about rituals. Starting with Dr. Harvey's Science Corner. Yeah.
So in my research quest, I wanted to first understand if rituals were unique to humans. And they are not.
Okay.
Which we'll just leave there for a second, but we'll start with us humans. So every culture, every continent, every type of human has ritual. So they are kind of universal, and anthropologists have traced them beyond our like Homo sapien roots. Like they're pre-modern day human. They serve currently in 2026, social scientists believe that they serve 3 primary goals. The first is anxiety regulation, which made me think back to the, like, is this mushroom going to kill me? Like
Right,
that we
right, yep.
talked about.
Uh-huh.
Performance enhancement and social bonding. Those are like the three reasons that they believe that ritual has been selected evolutionarily to like be something we are excited by. So
So we all, humankind and all other, I don't know, the animal kingdom, or
so we'll go back to the
I mean,
animal
it goes.
kingdom in a second,
Okay,
but for humans evolutionarily, those are the three reasons that
okay,
we
gotcha.
think that has been selected for. One of the most studied and like deepest understood aspect of ritual has to do with grief and loss. So those are some of the most prevalent rituals across all different cultures. So when people
Mhm,
experience grief, rituals can help obviously provide a pathway through what can ultimately feel very existential for our species.
mhm,
And so that's like the most well-known one. But also ritual around positive life experience can help ground us in like just knowing that like, okay, when you think of maybe commencement, when finish a academic milestone, we know what to do so that we can like, because that's also a very existential moment when you end one thing and begin another. Social belonging. So there's like grief and loss and then
right,
like
yep,
positive emotion, but social belonging, that there's been quite a few studies about how children who are outsiders, like ostracized, kick up their performance of in-group ritual, whether that's grooming ritual, playground ritual, like whatever ritual the in-group performs, out-group kids perform it 3x because we believe that ritual in this context is a way to demonstrate that you are part of, yeah, like
that's
you want to be on the in.
that's kind of sad.
I know, but I think
Sad and like
you see it everywhere,
sweet.
right? Like
Yeah.
I'm thinking like grooming rituals, like you're going to get the haircut, you're going to wear the
Mhm.
clothes, you're going to like walk into school the same way. Like you don't want to stick out, and part of that is like your performance ritual of like I'm doing the thing, accept me.
Interesting.
Um So then, like biologically, scientists think that ritual may have emerged. So that like the transition in our species from routine or routinization to ritualization may have been promoted to deal with environmental unpredictability, and specifically to enhance intra-group cohesion. So that bonding again, that was like humans were evolving in such an unpredictable environment that in order to survive, we had to be much more tightly knit. And therefore, we had to elevate a routine from like an individual routine to more of a social ritual. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Then, lastly, other species. So, primates have lots of rituals that are documented both from Jane Goodall and plenty of other primate researchers, everything from communing with nature, like rain dance type things where they like if there's a specific environmental factor impacting the group that they want to change, they may perform rituals that like to change their circumstances. They have shrine trees. Certain chimpanzees rather have shrine trees where they all throw rocks like pebbles into a hollowed out tree as kind of an offering. And it's not about foraging. It's not about food. They don't return to the tree for any sort of other activity besides this
So
like offering.
the thing differentiating a ritual from a routine is a ritual has it sounds like has a purpose
Yeah, it has like a
outside
social
of,
bonding
yeah, okay.
purpose. So like maybe a routine could probably help you with your anxiety, but
Okay.
it might not necessarily push social cohesion
I
because
think of
it's
like
not
a cat pooping in the same spot every day, or
right. That's probably wouldn't be, yeah.
marking their territory somehow. That's more of a routine, seems like,
Yeah,
than
I
a
think so.
ritual. So
Than a ritual, right.
it's pattern behavior, but it's not considered a ritual. So
Right, and then,
okay.
elephants perform circular mourning, where they walk in circles around a dead family member, like, very ritually, and cetaceans, both dolphins and, like, orca whales,
Mhm.
um, carry their deceased young for like long, long times. Like one in 2018, an orca named Telequa carried her dead calf for 17 days, traveling over 1,000
How do they
miles in the
carry it in their
ocean.
mouth?
No, like on their nose,
Wow.
like kind of pushing
Whoa.
them along, or
Yeah.
carrying them like on their back, like
I've
holding
heard
up with their
crows
tail.
have funerals too.
Crows have funerals.
Yeah.
Corvids, ravens, crows gather around the bodies of their deceased flock, and
Uh-huh.
they sound an alarm to say, like, hey, Jerry died. But they also sound an alarm to be like, we should, like, as a protective measure, like, okay, we're all going to gather and recognize that this member of our flock died, but also be on the lookout. Something happened. Like, we need
As
to
to why, yeah.
investigate. Yeah,
Yeah.
like what happened. So the big takeaway here is just that, like, we as humans are the most elaborate ritual performers, as you can obviously, like religious ritual, and it's in our evolution, and it's natural, that other behaviors exist in the natural world, but that what makes humans unique is kind of the symbolic and cultural complexity of it, um, uh, that like gets layered on top of the inherent ritualistic nature of living on this earth. The end. Thank you for
It
coming
is
to my
kind of
TED Talk.
interesting that, huh?
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
um,
So it actually made me think a lot about your cult and the ritual involved in like religious belonging.
mhm.
That those act as very strong biological indicators that you should want to continue to do it, which I thought was really interesting. Like ritual has a like chemical like release for you that um
Absolutely. I don't
yeah.
think I've stopped having rituals in my life. They've
Hmm.
just changed dramatically.
Yeah.
And there was a period of time where I was just kind of like lost, like,
Yeah.
what do I, what do I do?
Right.
Because there was the absence of those for, you know, at least a few months before I really kind of started getting into new rhythms, and um, yeah, I don't know. Do we
So,
want to go down that road yet, or are
well,
you
I
done with
guess
your science?
I like the idea of kind of, I think there's like you identified, there's routine, there's habit, and there's ritual. And where, like, how do we, in our infinite wisdom, how would we delineate between those? But also, like, I like wonder what in the interstitial between each of them, there are probably a few that you're like, this feels like a habit. Is it a ritual? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
like what there might be some funny crossover.
Maybe it's an addiction. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Oh, this habit that I can't stop.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For me,
So
like, I don't know, like, obviously, I've told my cult story,
right.
and there was a lot of ritual built into the day to day. Um, my ritual was my religion, and that meant like morning prayer time. Practicing gratitude towards God, asking for protection and wellness over my friends and family. And
Mhm.
certainly worshiping was a big one in the morning with like singing and making music and creating something like creating kind of an emotional environment. And the height of that would be like uh, some sort of release, like crying,
Mm. Mm. Hmm.
uh, reading scripture, and writing down thoughts in a journal, um, trying
And you're
to
categorizing these all in your head as
as rituals.
ritual. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, and certainly there are routines, and
Yeah,
um, but they were for my own spiritual growth.
totally.
Um,
I think that's exactly it. Like when a routine has a why behind it or intention behind it,
mhm.
I think that then like elevates it to a ritual. Like a habit is something I feel like I kind of like have practiced enough that I just like a habit is like, well, I'm only thinking of bad habits. But like a habit I might have that you just is autonomic, like the way I get into my car and I push the Subaru button that like stops the Subaru from monitoring me while I drive. I don't like that, so I'm like beep, and then I turn on my specific. I'm like boop to my music, and then I'm
And you
like
just do it
boop,
without
and I just
thinking.
do it.
Yeah.
Like a routine feels more like when I get up, the first thing I do is take the dogs out, and then I come back in and I start the coffee water, and then I like feed the dogs while the coffee water's boiling. That's like my morning routine. But the ritual is be like I add into that routine my meditative practice or my journaling or like you're talking about your maybe your prayer or religious ritual
Yeah,
that
it's a little more intentional.
yeah, or like a
Um,
practice because we know we're
yeah,
working toward something.
right.
No,
I
I
think
think
as
you're
humans, we
saying
do need rituals, like we need reflection, and, we need moments that like interrupt the chaos, I guess,
well,
and remind us
so
that life is like not just productivity or like
right that
wars
there's
or
like an
notifications.
an ephemeral nature to
Something
some
to
of
like
this.
recharge you, snap out of it.
Yeah. And this may be a little like woo woo, but just something about ritual that sticks out to me is just like the act of probably like noticing. Like if you're practicing a ritual, you are very present and you are like part of
Yeah,
what you are doing
become
is
more
like,
aware.
yeah, like if it's a funeral, that is a
Right.
ritual. That's, like we are
You're
noticing the
focusing on.
loss and we are
Mhm,
like giving it our special attention.
mhm.
Whereas like a routine, we can like habits, I can kind of bang
Yeah,
through them
you don't
without it.
need the depth there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that church rituals definitely gave me structure in a way that I don't
Mm.
have now.
Mhm.
They helped me process emotion. Singing worship songs sometimes felt like opening a pressure valve, like
Mm.
a stress cleanse. But at the same time, I can also look back now and, wonder how much of that emotional intensity was like tied to conditioning, you know, uh,
Mm.
just like I don't know. I guess in preparation for the episode, I went back and listened to some old songs
Mm.
that I wrote, when I was really deep into my church life. And it was kind of strange because, I can hear how like sincere I was. Like I definitely wasn't faking it,
Mhm.
you know, and the emotion there was real, but I can also hear like this thread running through just about every song, like this feeling that I needed to become less of myself, in order to
Ooh.
like be worthy of love.
Mm.
And uh
Bad ritual. Bad
yeah,
ritual.
yeah, I felt like the goal was, I think I mentioned like dying to yourself. Remember that during
Mhm. Mhm.
the cult episode? It's like
Mhm.
everything was kind of dipped in that motive. Like the goal was to like surrender, or almost self-erasure, like
Yeah.
take everything from me. I'm nothing without you, God,
Ugh.
and
Yeah.
it felt noble and holy in the moment, but like listening back now on the other side of it all, it was like, oh, I just want to give that guy a hug, because
Yeah.
somehow I don't know.
Well, so let's explore some ritual in your life that is not from your cult. Like, would
Yeah.
you like what do you think about printmaking?
Well,
Is
yeah,
there
that's
anything
certainly
ritual to that?
yeah, absolutely. Like, I mean, I think it's the rhythms. There's like the steps. It's very therapeutic in a way
Yeah.
because of how
Cathartic.
tedious it is.
Yeah.
And there's something about just knowing there's a beginning and an end, and then you're also creating something.
When
Um,
I watch you do it, like, and especially because of the way the flywheel works and like just like
yeah,
the rhythms, like you said, it feels like a it
it's very
there
tactile.
yeah, and there feels like there's like an aliveness to the like you and the machine become kind of like one and you like work together. It's like very really cool. You like get into a flow state when you're doing it.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's like multiple like moments for that. You know, certainly when I'm printing, feeding, and pulling off the prints. Um, that's like probably the most obvious example of like a cycle. You know, getting into a flow. But then there's like the typesetting itself. You know, is you know when you type on the keyboard, you know where all the keys are.
Right.
It's like I've learned to know where all of the letters are within the job case,
Mm-hmm.
and then again, it's like even like the little like I won't put music on sometimes because I just prefer to hear the clink
Yeah.
of the lead hitting
Yeah.
the composition stick or to hear the press, you know, the rollers. It's kind of I don't know. There's just like a it sounds
No, no, I think it makes
kind of
total sense.
fluffy, but there's like a song to it, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and I've noticed that people like that about like when I create videos for my
Yeah, it's
channel.
like ASMR.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's like something there that like calms you and like
Mhm.
and kind of centers you. I think you could probably liken it to like pottery, you know, when a lot of people find that kind of feeling when throwing
Mhm.
clay. So yeah, I mean that's definitely one of them. What about you? What
Um,
are your rituals?
I mean, I think, since being partnered to my partner, w she is so good at noticing natural rhythms, and
Mhm.
I've come to over the past, going on 5 years, like, just fall in line with the noticing of the different New England seasons, and so we have some of these rituals, like, we just we buy a special bottle of rosé for the first woodcock that we hear, that when they display,
That's cool.
and yeah, it's like we, like, go out there and listen for a few nights in a row, and we're like, "We think it's gonna be this night," and, like, that ritual of noticing. Same on the other end, like, on the shoulder season, stick season, it's like, "Oh, it's candle season, like, let's get all the good
Mhm. Oh
candles
yeah.
out," and, we
We
like
actually that was something we like were influenced by when we came and visited you
oh,
guys. Like
yeah, we're a
you
candle
have
house.
candles everywhere.
We
And
do.
since then we've been like collecting them and lighting them.
Yeah,
Emily was just like she had a candle on downstairs. She's like, I like to light it when I cook. And
and
she
that's
was cooking
that's
dinner.
ritualistic. There's something about,
Yeah.
like, the act of, like,
Mhm.
and, like, lighting
Yeah.
a candle, you're all of a sudden like, "Okay," it's like a change in the environment
Yeah.
in a really special way.
Yeah, it does something to the room, you know, with, like, the
Yeah, the
aroma
light.
and the light and
Yeah.
the
Yeah, and
flickering,
I
yeah.
think there's probably, yeah, like, there's probably something going on there that we might not even be aware of, but, like, why candles are, like, part of many, religious
Gotta
rituals,
be the
you know?
flame, you know, like,
Yeah.
whenever you're around a campfire, you're like there's, like it's easy to
You're
get
like, we're like
mesmerized by
moths to
yeah,
a
yeah,
flame. So some of
yeah,
those, like, like, tied to nature, like, those
uh-huh,
rituals, but then, of course, I've mentioned this before, our moon group, so coming together ritually every month to
yeah,
notice the
yeah,
different moons, and that is often also really tied to nature, and then meditative practice, although admittedly I've been a little bit lax on that, lately, but I that is a ritual I like to set up the same way, and I have, like, a very specific, like, position I get into, and I'm only able to really do that if I'm, like, very present and aware. I can't be doing that while you're scrolling, you know?
right, right,
And then I think cooking for me is very ritualistic. There are certain things that I cook that in some ways are routinized. Like, I don't need the recipe anymore, but it's like an an act of ritual that I
Mhm.
love doing it, like the first beef stew of the season, like
Right.
when I make like my mom's red sauce or like whatever,
Yeah.
like chicken soup from a
Uh-huh.
fresh chicken, whatever. Like
Yeah.
those things feel very ritualistic because similar, it's like there's a flow to it and there's like just a kind of whole sensory experience that goes along with it that I can't like if I'm making Annie's mac and cheese, you better believe I'm like watching Netflix on my phone in the kitchen while I'm doing that, but not when I'm doing my good cooking. That I'm
Right,
like
right,
I'm
right, right.
listening to the way it sounds in the pan, I'm smelling, I'm tasting. So yeah, whole consciousness and awareness for those rituals.
What is the benefit, like, you're finding through those things? Is it just peace,
Yeah,
or is
it's the
there more to it than
noticing.
that?
It's the
Mhm.
smallness that you get, like, when you notice things outside of yourself. I
Mhm.
think we benefit from ritualizing that because
Mhm.
I think the best way to feel, like, happy and, like, live a life well lived is to keep yourself small and in context, and
Mhm.
so I think ritual helps me do that's what I seek to do in my rituals. I mean, I'm sure there are rituals out there that people do that are, like, for megalomaniacs that they're like, you know, don't keep them
Well,
small.
I mean, I think there's maybe this crosses over into, like, maybe superstition, but, like,
Mm,
I think of, like, sports fans doing the same thing each time their team plays, and
sure.
in hopes that they'll win, or,
Well, and
whatever.
I would say that probably goes along with social bonding. Like that's you're performing something as part of a larger whole because it's like if you don't wear
Mhm.
your Patriots jersey when you go to the bar on
Right,
Sunday during football season, you're going to look
right.
like a real dink, and we don't want that.
That's true, that's true.
But
Yeah.
one of the studies that I reviewed for a ritual is that performance enhancement is a huge, huge benefit of ritualistic behavior. So, whether it's oration or Olympic level sport or your T-ball team, having ritual structured around the before or even after you perform whatever you want to perform has a noticeable improvement on your performance. Even as like silly as someone, there's a study of over time, somebody who got handed a lucky golf ball before their golf match, like over and over and over again, performed better than the people who didn't. So the people
Okay.
that had the routine of like the same thing every time being like, this is your lucky ball. And you're like, oh, thank
Right.
you. And you put it in your pocket, or it
I
probably
think
could
I've
have been
felt that
anything.
before. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Similar
just, I
thing.
had a friend whose mom used to say the same exact thing every time they headed out the door, the kids. And it was just like, be good. That's it. She'd like wherever she was in the house, wherever they were going, just out to play or out to school or like off to college, she was just like, be good. It
Yeah.
like stuck with they like would like refer to it like as siblings. They'd be like, oh, should we like cut school? And it like they were like, no, like mom would be so upset. Yeah, like we should be good.
I
And it's
kinda
just
do
like, yeah,
with
it's
my
like
kids, yeah.
it's
With
just and
Sam,
that's
like, Sam just went to Orlando, and, yeah, he went down to go to some music festival with his bud.
he's
Um,
so much cooler than I'll ever be.
yeah, I know, and
Mm,
I'm so glad that he's doing more than I was allowed to,
yeah. Yeah.
It makes me feel, happy, you know?
That's what you want as a parent, right?
Though it makes me very nervous, and this is where the ritual comes in,
Yeah.
is where, like, even when he goes out, on the weekends, he said, "Okay, I'm going out. I probably won't be home till late." And it's just like, "Okay, have fun, be safe."
Yep.
Those two things I
2
make
things.
sure I say every time.
Yeah.
And I did that again with him going down to Orlando, and
Like, there's
it's like I
definite
need to say it. If I don't
yeah,
say it, something's gonna
something bad could
happen.
happen.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. But there's also serious intention there. Like, that's not a habit. You mean it every time you say it.
Yeah, no,
You're like
absolutely. No,
yeah.
it's from, like, the bottom of my heart, like,
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. it's a practice, rituals. And so like that's a practice in love, that's a practice in caring, that's a practice in like you want to say so much more, but you
Mm,
don't, like you're trying to
right,
consolidate so
right.
much into that phrase. And that's yeah, like I keep just thinking that ritual is a practice, which means that we believe that like why the reason we're doing it is because we're working towards something more than just the actual act.
Hmm.
And so, like, what else? Like, there's like the religion of it. And obviously, all sorts of people are doing different things. But I think, like, I can think of certain, like, I'm on a board, for the school. And sometimes it is so friggin' annoying to be part of all of it. But the
Yeah.
ritual of it, I think, is actually more like,
There is, yeah, and I don't want to like poo-poo religion or even
yeah,
Christianity or I was in a very like unique situation. Not everybody's church experiences that, and there's a lot of benefits to having
totally.
church, like
Absolutely.
big time, like really wonderful things.
Hmm.
Um, and I think you're right. Like the practice of coming together once a
Showing
week,
up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Whether you show up
Especially
for
when you don't want to.
right. Knowing
There's
what was
something there
yeah, there was
that's like
this
good.
there's this thing going pinging around on the internet lately, kind of because of like convenience culture with our cell phones and our internet and our all this, and it's like loneliness is the price you pay for convenience, which if you flip it around is like showing up and being inconvenienced a bit actually is like what makes community community.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you you the ritual act of even just yeah like showing up because you said you would or because you believe in the greater good of it is important in and of itself.
I
And
think it builds that sense of belonging, like you're
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like you can hate going to town meeting every
yes,
year,
yeah, yep,
but it's my goddamn town meeting. Don't you
yeah.
ever talk
don't
about
don't
how
don't you say
dumb it is
anything
to
about
have it,
my yeah, yeah, no, totally,
I think we're
totally.
the
I
last state to do it. Does Maine do it?
We do it.
You do town meeting every year?
We had
Okay.
town
So there's
meeting
only
in March. Yeah,
yeah.
it's very New
So
Englandy.
yeah.
Yeah. It's so
uh
annoying. It's so annoying, and I love it so much. Um,
Yeah, like we went to Fort Ticonderoga with
mm,
the kids a number of years ago, and they have like the
nerd.
reenactors. It was a school trip, dude. It was a
Okay,
field
cool.
trip. Um, but the guy there, he's in full costume and he's talking about the battle that happened there. But then he starts like shit talking Vermonters, you know,
Because he's a
because
New
we
Yorker.
need a committee, and we always need a town meeting. And I'm like, what?
You were
You know?
like,
And it's
well,
like, I
I'll
hate
be,
that fucking town meeting, but you know what? It's mine. So you
yeah,
better shut
and it
up.
matters.
Yeah.
Matters.
Yeah.
No, we like prioritize it. And I mean, it's hours, like we
Yeah.
started at 10 a.m. and we were not done till like 4, but we had a
I say all
bench.
this. I think I've
Yeah.
been once.
Eric,
Yeah.
we
I
we
think I've
have
only
like
come once.
we have like a bean and chicken supper in the middle of it,
Yeah.
like at
Yeah.
like noon, and there's like people play music and we
Hmm.
argue, and then we're like, and then there's someone who has a margarita party after, and his margaritas are terrible, but we go because it's nice that he does
Because
that.
that's what you do.
That's what you do. That is a ritual. It's an act of like, if we do this, we hope for that,
Right.
like
Right.
whatever that cycle is. Which is kind of, yeah, like, I don't know, like being human. Like if
Hmm.
I want to show up for my family and friends because I want to have them around and like we understand the benefit of what those relationships give to us. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. The more you talk about it, the more I like, I don't know. I can't think of any at this point that like
Ritual,
bring,
creative
yeah.
ritual.
Well, no, that other rituals that I'm expecting something in return,
Like your like friendship,
I mean, this
podcasting,
podcast,
you know?
intentionally sitting down with people. Yeah,
We
for sure.
intentionally
Is
expect
friendship
this
a
to make
ritual?
yes, Totally. Depends on how you practice it.
Potentially.
Some friendships could be habits, right? And
Mhm.
you're like, you kind of are like, you know, you get off the phone with someone and you're like, ugh. Like, and you know, like,
But when you
is this
hop on a
still servicing?
podcast
Feels great.
on purpose,
If you text me, it feels like a habit.
forget
If you
about it.
get me on the phone, ritual. No, like I think like it's a
Yeah, but like
practice.
I think about like for example, for a whole summer, Emily and I, because I was working from home, um, Emily and I
Was this like COVID?
would
When was this?
no, this was when I didn't have a boss, so I just didn't go in for the first 2 hours. I worked
I
from
love
home.
that. I love that.
But I do so we both sit out on the porch.
Yeah,
And
you
that
guys got
became
really into porch sitting.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we still do, but we just
Yeah.
can't do it as regularly.
Yeah.
And certainly now that it's getting warmer, we have porch time. But she has her spot, I have mine,
Yeah.
and we'll just sit there, you know. She'll read a book, knit, I'll scroll. But sometimes I'll just
Nice.
sit. Yeah. But sometimes I'll just sit, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just like being next to each other is like, is that a ritual? Like, because I'm not expecting anything out of it. It's just like, this is a happy time for me. And this is, something I do
Well, I guess
in
why do you do
repetition.
it? Why do you do it?
I do it because it feels good.
Why?
It feels good to be next to Emily.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good to like observe the neighborhood go by.
Mm-hmm.
And
what feels good about that? Because it's
I feel
protected
connected
time.
in a way.
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably a ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of what we talked about before, like because what you're doing in that time is there's like an act of noticing. There's an intentionality behind it in that you're like, we do this because we know it like it connects us. It's like special. It's something that just we do, you know, which is nice and some sort of bonding thing. And yeah, like it's probably it's not a routine because it's not
No.
as it's more I think it's a ritual.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a
All right.
practice.
Well, that's
Yeah.
something.
There it is. You have lots of ritual. I mean, I think of like fishing with your boys.
Yeah, like
You know,
going out with Jude tends to be the one who wants to go. So we've made a point. I mean, we're already
that's kind
talking
of a
about
ritual.
We've already planned, and being out there like feels really good.
Yeah.
You know, just sitting on the water, and you know, even if you don't catch anything, it's like, this is so great.
So I was talking to Kristen about this hat. I was like, do you think if someone has a fish on their hat that they're like pretending that they like fishing? And she was like, well, what does the fish look like? And like, you know, like what kind of brand is it? Whatever, went through this whole thing. And she was like, why do you ask? And I was like, well, I got a hat with a fish on it because Eric had one and I liked it. And she was like, well, does Eric like fishing? I was like, he loves fishing. And she was like, I just don't get it. Why do people love fishing? And then it became not about my hat, and it became about how stupid people who like fishing are. Just
Well,
kidding.
we gotta
kidding.
get Kristen out on the boat.
She said she went fishing twice, and because her cousin was into it, and she was like, I don't think so. But you know, like I don't like surfing, and she does. So
I don't like sports.
I like being active. I like my rituals to be passive.
not as a way to relax or have fun, you know. Certainly to exercise, I would prefer a sport over like, you know.
Yeah, like would we say like is
or,
hiking a ritual? Like I love hiking. And
I
when
love
I get to the
hiking.
top, it feels like I'm connected.
What
I'm
that
present.
does is it makes me feel more connected to my location. And I think I started to fall in love with New England in a way that I never had time for before.
Yeah.
Once I started hiking more and really just visiting places and another thing Emily and I do, especially in the summer, is we'll go into Stowe and we'll go to the public house. We'll go to Bear Pond Book. She'll buy a book.
Yeah.
Get a sandwich maybe.
That feels like a ritual.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And that's and it's like it's kind of
it's like being a tourist in your own home.
Yeah. Like taking advantage of the
Instead
really
of, like,
special thing.
Yeah, like when
Instead
I
of
know like
well, you know,
like there's traffic, like the tourists are in town. We're like,
we live in a
wait,
place that people
pretty
want to come
nice.
to.
People
you know?
pay money to come here.
Yeah.
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 For
And
sure.
so like intentionally appreciating where I live.
I
And
just thought of
it's
one
caused me to
similar.
fall more in love with it and feel
Yeah,
more like I belong here.
because you're noticing.
Should we do a
Wait,
Frivia?
we should do Frivia.
Frivia ritual edition? Is Frivia a ritual?
Yeah, I think so. I think Frivia is a ritual.
Is there enough meaning behind it?
The meaning is like we want to get to know each other better.
Okay.
I could spin us into any. I could be like, no, it's definitely just a habit, but I'm
Yeah.
picking yes, ritual.
No, it's just a game. No, it's just a addiction. We can't get enough of Frivia.
Lightning round questions with each other. We're
Okay.
really into
What's
it.
the weirdest ritual you've ever had?
Summer camp. There are some really weird rituals, usually around like meal times. Yeah, I just pick that. They're just like a very in group type thing that once you get out of it, you're like, well, that was weird that we did that 3 times a day, every day
Yeah.
for, 6 weeks.
So like what? What was it?
Like songs we would sing if we wanted like certain food from the kitchen. It's
Oh,
like
interesting.
it was very weird and like just like little, it was all about social bonding. We would like move a seat a day and like each seat had a different role because we all eat family style. I don't know, just stupid stuff. That's what it feels like. Looking back on it, I'm like, that was weird that we did that, but you just accept it. You were like, this is part of how we exist here. Makes sense. Yeah.
Can food become sacred?
Yeah.
I think that like your example with the rosé is kind of cool little like tradition.
I think so because I think of like a ritual that again, like back on the idea of it being about noticing, and what better way to notice more fully by like including more senses. And so like, yeah, think about like eating the body of Christ, like whatever, that's definitely a food ritual. But then maybe I could imagine like the first ice cream you have of the season at a favorite place you go to or whatever. Like, yeah, food is definitely part of ritual.
Yeah. Is making coffee basically modern prayer?
Nah, that's
Yeah, I
like
don't think
filling
so
up your
either.
gas tank. That's like
Well,
brushing
I
your
think it
teeth.
depends. I think there are some people who make it a thing.
Well, we have like, we measure it. We have a
Right.
gooseneck pourer,
Right.
whatever. But just like I described, my whole morning ritual includes coffee, but it's not, I don't isolate
So
it.
for you, it's not that.
Yeah. But I'm sure there's,
I think
yeah,
there are people out there who like really have like coffee time.
for sure. And like same with like matcha, like the way you ceremonial prepare a certain like, like ceremonial grade matcha is like, there's a ritual. You have to like
Right.
whisk it with that little thing, and that's a ritual.
It's funny. That reminds me of a time. So during COVID, my parents were traveling and then COVID got them. And so they ended up staying with my brother for longer than they were going to.
Right.
And so
I
my dad
remember
was really
that.
sick.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I ended up having to go down there and helping out because Graham and his wife couldn't take work off any longer.
For that long. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went down there, but my mom had established this ritual and she's like out of her mind.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's
Alzheimer's.
yeah. But one day, I think it started like this to where they were out sitting on the porch, my mom and Graham's wife. And I don't know, she either asked for wine or something to where Stephanie is her name. Stephanie's like, oh yeah, no problem. And then my mom somehow like says, oh yeah, I do this every day at 3:00, or something like that.
That's so
and
funny.
Stephanie was like, what? She's like, oh yeah. And we usually have grapes and, like a whole charcuterie and, and that was not true. So that was not true. She just made it up.
Like,
No, she doesn't have
you
wine
don't
at
do
3:00
that.
every day. So for the next week or two, Stephanie's like doing this
Here's
for
the
her.
routine.
And she's like,
here's
I
the
don't know how you
ritual.
guys keep up with all this. Like, and we're like, what? Tea time? And she called it tea time. She called it tea. I was like, oh yeah, we have tea time. And she just created this ritual and and then finally
really
it came
funny.
out, I think in a family text or something, where it was like, what are you talking about? Like that That's never been a thing. It was funny.
Stephanie is like,
and so it has, I think, I guess it's kind of waned now, but it continued on, like
it's
they
funny you
kept
say that.
doing it.
My grandparents called their like 4 o'clock glass of white wine tea time.
Yeah.
My grandma would be like,
were they
Joe.
Southern?
No.
No. Okay. So maybe it's
New
just
England,
like a
like
generational thing.
Massachusetts. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. That's funny.
Yeah.
She really hoodwinked
okay.
Stephanie.
What ritual instantly makes you feel safe?
Probably like, I really love just being like tucked into bed. And it's like, as long as my feet are up off the ground and like in bed, I'm like, I'm good. Like nothing can get me here.
What rituals did your family have growing up?
We ate dinner together every night. It did not matter like how late dad worked, how many soccer practices I had in one day, like what, like we set the table and we sat down and it was like the same script. How was your day? Oh, what did you do? Oh, how, like, did anyone talk to grandma? Like, it was like this.
Yeah.
And then I would collect all the dishes and I would do the dishes and my parents would go into the other room and watch Seinfeld and then I would go in and it was like, that was a routine. I mean, the ritual. It was like,
you didn't have to unspoken, just
no, we performed it every night for like like a decade and a half.
Yeah.
But it's like how like ephemeral that was. Like then I grew up and moved and that was that. But it felt like it was very foundational and very like grounding part of my childhood.
Every time I come home, Jerry will be there in the living room playing with his Legos or something. And, I'll be hanging up my keys in my coat and I'll look at him and he's waiting for it. He's like, and I'll say, so how's your day, buddy? And he'll be like, horrible, because he can't say the word. But he just thinks it's the most hilarious thing. It was horrible.
That's probably like 2 years ago. One time you laughed when he said that, and he was like,
"Yeah,
yes,
yeah, that's exactly what happened."
That's cute.
And he's also in a stage of life where he just thinks, being pessimistic is funny.
Some people stay in that forever. So fingers crossed for Jer.
We were just joking about he goes through these stages of like jokes, till he wears them out. The last one he just got over, he would pretend like he wouldn't know. And it's kind of a ritual because it's like a play back and forth,
Yeah.
But like
he's engaged you in it.
Yeah. He would pretend like he wouldn't know a word. So like, hey, bud, did you get lunch? And he'll be like, lunch? Lunch? What is lunch?
That's very funny.
What are we having for dinner, Mom? Spaghetti. Spaghetti? I've never heard of spaghetto.
That's very funny.
Yeah. But it got to be really annoying to where it's like he would do it instead of doing what he was told,
it was an avoidance technique. Yeah. It's like PJs. I think that's very funny.
My toff.
I think you have a very genius child, and
he is a smart cookie. That's for sure.
Yeah.
If aliens watched humans, what ritual would confuse them the most?
There's so many. Probably the one that comes to mind is like anything where sometimes we just like make things needlessly harder because we like, I don't know, like I'm thinking of like dishwashing, like we're like, they're like, like why would you eat on something that must be like washed every time?
Why did you engineer a machine?
Right. Like this makes no sense.
That.
Right. Yeah. Something just like, yeah. But in our house, because we don't have a dishwasher, washing dishes is ritualistic. I like cannot, I struggle to go to bed without closing the kitchen down. Because then when you get back up in the morning, you're like, clean slate. Now I live with a partner.
Not that family.
Yep, I live with a partner who doesn't believe in that. So if I don't do it,
she does. That's surprising. Is she less like routine oriented than you?
And she's more type B. Like she'll take a full mug of coffee and hop in the car. Like
so, you're like the culprit.
Yes, yeah, I'm the routine monster. I'm the type A. She's the type B. She's like fun, fun and like, oh, it's no big deal. And I'm like, it's a very big deal.
We must clean it up.
We have to clean. Like the other day, the dogs, I felt like such a dad. It's like, there's two options. Either the dogs don't lay in a mud puddle, or when they come in the house, you dry them off. Two options.
One or the other.
Somehow my partner chooses neither. They both lay in the puddle of mud and they do not get wiped off. And so like there was like a dog imprint on our like white natural fiber rug, and I was like, and to be fair, she was like, that was on me, and that was very annoying. Yeah. And I was like, it was very
There's
annoying.
A line. She's not a wreck.
No. But it was just like, I'm like, let's make she has a
very cool sense of creating spaces. Like, and I'm assuming that's her because it's her house. Like, you probably contributed in that way. But like Emily and I were like really just struck by how intentional each room was. And how like curated.
Oh, we don't have kids, so it's like
I know, but like
it gets to be
it was
like
beyond that. It was beyond that. It was, and maybe it was just that it like it's our style. Like this, we like this,
Yeah.
It's what we would choose, but
we came together on a lot of that. It was hard. It was really hard because like I think she would say if I hadn't been in the picture, the house would look totally different, and if this were my house, it would look totally different. But because of us having to like compromise and like meet each other at different places, we came to something that feels like a little bit like not what each of us would want, but both of us love. Like so which was really cool. But yeah, she's brought like color into my life. Like, cause I'm like, you knew my house in Vermont. It was like white.
Millennial gray.
Yeah. It was white. It was millennial white. And yeah, like, so she's got lots of, and like, she likes funky, like very specific type of lamps. And I'm like, that lamp is ugly. And she's like, I love this lamp. So the couch was very specific.
Even just like the books, the way she's, and candles everywhere.
Candles. She's candle queen. Yeah.
It's cool.
It is cool.
It's dope.
It's very dope. Now I've said it once.
It's very dope. Yes.
Dope.
Dope.
That's for you, partner.
Is checking your phone first thing in the morning a ritual?
No, that's a terrible habit, and no one should have their phone in the morning. It should be in another room. Agree. Get it out. Save yourself. Yeah.
What ritual do you wish you had?
I think I'm like pretty good with morning ritual, but I'm less good with evening ritual because like pretty much after 4 p.m. I'm like, what are we having for dinner? When can I go to bed? I'm just like on a straight shot to bedtime. Yeah. So I wish I had like a more enriching evening ritual where it was like I lit the candle and I read my book and I had my tea and I I want it, and I've like had it at points, but it's not baked in because by like it's 7:45 right now. I'm gonna shut off my computer. I'm gonna brush my teeth. I'm gonna have a glass of water and I'm gonna be like, well, I should probably get into bed soon, like, or worse yet, I'll watch an episode of something and be like on the couch. So I think that's what I wish.
I think I wish I had more rituals. It's like after this conversation, I'm thinking, well, crap.
We didn't talk about our fiber ritual.
That is definitely a ritual.
That is a very important ritual that we both have.
And we both love.
It's super important. We look forward to it. And we do it for a future benefit. We also do it because we're afraid.
I came home today and I sat down. Yeah. Do you have sides of the couch?
Yes.
I have my dad spot. The kids know it as dad spot.
Yeah, dad spot. Yeah.
It's on the left side.
I know where it is. I know where it is.
When I come in, they will just move over.
There. Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah.
You are either alert there or you're like this. There.
But I came home and I sat down.
In dad's spot.
And then I was like, oh, I got to take my Metamucil.
My fiber. The last thought I have about like some of the silly rituals that I can think of in my life, like, how you say hello and goodbye are ritualistic things that we do. So thinking like maybe if you came from New England and said like, you know, like, hey, hope you have a wicked good day versus someone being like, hey, y'all, like those are ritualistic things that also create sense of belongings, but also just even the act of saying hello or goodbye or good day are rituals. So is saying bless you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like or gesundheit after someone sneezes. There's like these ritual things that are rooted. Those feel like habits, but they like are
We
wide.
used
Like
to say bless you
yeah, I
just
know
as
you
like
did.
goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
kind of a
Like
weird culty thing.
bless you. Yeah,
And we do. Blessed be
bless
the
you.
fruit.
Yeah. My that's actually an inside joke with my mom and I because one time when I was young, there was like some. I thought I was home alone. I was a latchkey kid. There was someone doing work in my parents' house, and I didn't know it. And it was this like tiny little Ecuadorian man who was like trim painting in another room, and I just like sneezed like "wah choo," and out of nowhere he was like "blaze you," which was
Like, oh,
so startling when you really rip a sneeze and think you're alone. It was like blaze you.
bless you.
So now we say that in our family
That's funny. Funny.
in like a quiet moment.
Yeah.
Blaze you.
I feel like we're just starting some, you know, like
Mm,
because we're kind of starting over. Like the fishing thing. Um, I did just book another weekend at Green Mountain Reservoir, and we did that last year at Waterbury, you know, like an overnighter. And it's like a boys' trip, you know. But yeah, it's like as far as like
anything
I
with
think like
Owen?
traditions or, you know, what?
Do you have any rituals with Owen?
Probably, but I just
Anyone in Eric's life, if they could just write in with rituals he's forgetting, it'd be super
well, like I
helpful.
said, you know, I'm open to ideas too. So like, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I think we've exhausted the ritual route. Should we splash down?
I think it might be time for Splashdown.
Okay, in my dream 2 nights ago,
Oh. Dream experiment.
in my dream, there was a student of mine and his dad. And this is a very challenging student of mine. And I was lucid because I knew in my dream, I was like, I can't believe he's in my dream. Like, can I not get a break? You know? So that was my like, I was like, oh, I'm lucid. And I was like, I have to find Eric. And so then in my dream, the student, who, as a reminder, I cannot stand, started to like sprout your goatee. And I was like, is he
You
Eric?
trying to communicate with?
Yeah. And I was like, and I
Did he
just
say a
remember in
word?
my dream, no. But
Oh,
what happened was this student's dad was watching the student like grow your goatee. And in my dream, I was
that's
like,
really
it's
weird.
Eric's goatee. And then the dad took a cleat out of his backpack and
Yeah.
handed it to me. And I was like, is it cleat? Like,
No.
yeah, well,
How cool would
that
that
was my
be though?
dream. I was really
I think
hoping you were
I
going to
feel
be
like we
like,
should reiterate for folks with these dream updates.
yeah,
If you're just beginning to listen, Elaine and I have decided to begin a dream experiment to see if we can
long form.
communicate
Yeah.
telepathically through our dreams a word.
Go go listen to
Um,
season 2,
Live in
episode
the dream.
2. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
season 2. I don't know what it's just
Yeah.
called.
Live in the
Live in
dream.
the dream. Yep. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, that's not the word. And I didn't dream of you between now and what,
Dang
2
it.
days ago when we last recorded.
I just feel
So
like it was good because I haven't been having very many lucid dreams. And so I was like, okay, I'm
yeah,
clicking in.
starting to
Like,
get in.
yeah, I'm
I'm
getting there.
finding it
So
to
I've
be
been,
like surprisingly easy.
well, that's
Um,
because you're good at it.
well,
Graham,
what
Eric's
happens is
very good.
I'll go to sleep like instantly, you
Yeah.
know, like, and that's just normal for me. And I won't dream, but then I usually wake up in the night, like around 2 or 3.
Go pee, because you're an old man.
And then I have been on a regular basis now. I'll say, it's kind of a ritual. I'll say, Elaine, 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 and then the word, whatever that, what the word is. And I'll do that like 3 or 4 times. And then I will find myself lucid dreaming. Sometimes you're there, sometimes you're not. Sometimes like the last 2 nights, I haven't been able to do it, but that's been kind of how I've been like
cool.
Putting myself into dream world.
So I have been setting an intention when I like get into bed and like flip my little legs up, and then I'm safe, and then like all the lights are off and I've done all my little things, and I'm like, tonight I would like to find Eric and I want to know the word. And then
are we doing this right though? Like, because we have to be dreaming at the same time, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then
it's not like I can throw the word out there and you catch it at some other point in time.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay.
That's possible.
I mean, if you say the word, it will not be a coincidence.
Right. Right. And it wasn't cleat. Okay.
So I watched a few horror films. I watched The Blair Witch Project. It was like, I think it was.
It didn't hit. It wasn't 2002.
Right.
Yeah.
And I had already known everything about it, so it was like, it was all spoiled. But like, I could appreciate it for what it was. And I was actually thinking like, this is quite brilliant for the time. Like,
it was revolutionary.
Kind of these lo-fi found footage. It's very resourceful.
That's a whole genre now.
Yeah.
Found footage. Cloverfield is found footage, and it's all because of Blair Witch.
I've actually seen that
one quick thing. The girl, Heather, in that movie she lives like 2 towns over from where we live in Maine. And she is like a very controversial, like, politician, like select woman, basically. Anyway, I'll send you an article. It's really funny because I was like, no, I mean, she's just like, that's the only thing she's ever done in the acting world. And now she's just been living like a weird life up here in Maine,
local politician.
Like just like kind of being annoying.
Okay.
Yeah.
I watched The Conjuring.
Oh,
I didn't
the first
like it.
one?
Yeah.
What? You didn't like it?
I didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think that's my flavor.
Okay. All right.
Like, I got it, but like, I don't know. It's
not yours. Okay.
It didn't.
So you're not going to watch Annabelle.
It's funny. I watched all these on the plane.
Oh yeah.
And while I was watching, I'm kind of hunched over too, because I don't want to like scare any kids around me or whatever.
That's so considerate.
But the one time I look up at Emily in the movie, all the family photos fall off the wall and make this big crashing. So I look at her and I'm like, whoa.
And she's like,
and she loses it. She's like, you idiot.
I love that she's always a dose of reality,
and I was like,
for you.
Did I yell? Because I couldn't tell I had my headphones. She's like, no, you didn't.
Am I talking loud?
Yeah, it wasn't.
Wasn't it for you?
It wasn't it for me. I don't think I like exorcism. I lived
Good
it,
to know.
right?
Yeah, right.
And then there was I watched A Substance.
Body horror. Whoa, with Demi Moore and Margot Qualley. Wild.
So yeah, both did amazing. I was a little puzzled though, because it got like a great, like some award for the screenplay, screenwriting or whatever. And to me, it was just like, I don't know, like the concept's really cool, but like the dialogue felt kind of clunky to me.
I just like, I guess, you know what? I should check this before I say this out loud. I just wondered. Oh, okay. So people have been saying this. Oh my God. Oh, wow. I feel so stupid. I was about to be like, I think it's so weird that nobody said it's like a picture of Dorian Gray. And then I'm just reading that it was like, it's a body horror film functioning as a modern feminist reimagining of the picture of Dorian Gray.
Right.
So I'm like, I have a hot
I didn't
take.
make that connection. Yeah.
But like,
that makes sense.
Anyway,
It
I
was good.
Yeah, I thought it was great. It made me uncomfortable, but it also like there were points in it where I was like, dang. Like
Mhm.
it wasn't just like reviling, it was also like it was just good. That was good.
Yeah, 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 I agree.
The end got
Um,
so weird though. That like
got really weird.
the like
Well, the
last
whole
quarter of
time
the
I'm
movie.
like, the whole time because you'd mentioned it was body horror
Yeah.
in a previous conversation. I was like, okay, I'm doing fine here, and there's like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, like this is real bad.
It's like
Like just
it's
when I
like
thought it was kind of like winding down, she goes through the third iteration. It was like, oh
and you're
my
like,
god,
oh, you're like, are those
yeah,
teeth?
yeah. And then her face is like, oh, like her mouth stuck. Yeah, no, it was
Disgusting.
quite disturbing.
Yeah. Wow, you've been
But
busy,
again,
Eric.
it wasn't, huh?
You've been busy.
Well, I was flying.
You were on the
so I had
plane,
three
right.
three movies downloaded, and I watched them all.
Right.
Um,
Okay, well, should we do it again?
yeah, I think we should.
Yay.
Okay,
Bye.
I'll see you later.